Yet we also, domestically, have to employ people to produce things, because not everybody can appear on the Glenn Beck show. I mean, people in Ohio and Michigan actually need to do something. A lot of it involves labor.
Right. But hang on just a second.
What everybody for those people?
But what everybody is saying now, and this is what global labor is doing, is they're saying that we're going to be able to bring the world up to our standard. No, they're not. They're not. That's not possible. What we are doing right now is we are spending ourselves into oblivion. It is the. Are you familiar with the Cloward Piven strategy?
No. Sounds great.
You know what? No, it doesn't. You got to look this up, because you would understand this. Look up Cloward Piven, the Cloward Piven strategy. It's a radical Marxist idea that came out of Columbia University, and I'm telling you, Damon, it's being employed right now. And the idea is, you want to change the culture in America? You want to change the government? You want to overthrow the Constitution? You don't do it with guns. You don't do anything like that. If you want a redistribution of wealth, what you do is you collapse the system, and then it has to restart. Well, that's what's happening. But they're overwhelming it.
I know there are a lot of conspiracy theories out there, and I had the benefit of doing the Alex Jones show last night, and I heard a couple of them, and I'm not disputing that many of them may be actually true, but market forces are likely to take.
You don't need a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, but market forces are likely to take us there anyway. The dollar is way too high, and other currencies are way too low. So what you're likely to see is a realignment of currencies. We obviously cannot
say this in terms that people understand. A realignment of currencies doesn't mean anything. What it does mean is you're going to live closer to the standard of Mexico than you are of America when they realign the currencies.
Yes,
correct?
That would be accurate. Our debts are simply too huge. There is no possible way that our labor forces can compete globally on a production cost basis. When if you or I, Glenn, were to come up with a brilliant idea, an I've got something, something Billy Mays might be proud of. Maybe we would elect to make it here, but most people don't. When they come up with those great ideas, they're electing to immediately make those things in the Philippines or Bangladesh or Mexico. That didn't happen in the past. In the past, we at least had a 10, 15, 20-year period where we created employment in this country. As of this moment, if great new technologies come along that innovate society, like the arrival of the railroads, or that really create an adoption cycle, an investment cycle, a bull market, and an economic expansion, those things that we're all talking about, they're not likely to land on these shores. The benefits are likely to be made overseas in emerging markets.
Right.
Beyond that, we don't have anything to export. We don't have oil. We are net consumers and net importers of our food. We don't have anything to export. We export promises and debt, and inevitably those two roads shall meet. And with the weakness in the dollar on a daily basis and the breakout in gold, it may be that we're moving towards it now.
America, how does this not make sense to you? I mean, this is the way it would work in your home. How does this not make sense? How is it we're still talking about insane things instead of doing this? Instead of America having the conversation of, look me in the eye. Will you live a tough lifestyle right now? Will you gotta eventually pay the debt. It's immoral to pass all of this on. Would you pay and live without government freebies? You got to work. You got to scratch. It's gonna mean like we lived like our grandparents if we do it now. And you know what? There's fine. I will do that if my children still have an America at the end of it. But Damon, correct me if I'm wrong. If we don't get out of this thing will spiral out of control, and it will they'll push it up to a higher power. Well, America's too big to fail. Got to make it into a one world government. Right?
Well, that's exactly how it would unfold. You said something brilliant a second ago, which was about indulgence and about not facing the truth. We are a society. We're a society that I believe, for the most part, medicates ourselves. Now, how do we do that? We do that with alcohol. We do it with drugs. We do it with bad television programs, not yours, but programs that just dull the. Come on. They dull the senses. We medicate ourselves. We take short-term, impulsive fixes, buying things that we don't need. And we've accumulated so much. How many homes? How many cars? How many bangles of jewelry? I mean, we're choking on it. We're we're a society that has become a society where literally we stuff the macaroni and cheese in our bodies, and we take out equity lines of credit to suck the fat out of our neck.
Okay.
This is craziness.
Yeah. Okay, now listen. I don't know about you. I don't have a problem with wealth. I don't have a problem with consumption.
Me neither.
Okay, good. Because I just want to make that clear. I don't.
No,
but when you are putting it on a credit card, which is what our country is doing, it becomes insane. I believe that we will be remembered in the history books only one of two ways. This generation and this time period, right now, we are making history. We will either be looked back on as the dumbest people ever to be on the face of the earth, the most clueless, greedy, obscene, stupid people, or we are going to be looked back on as heroes because we decided to do the tough thing and live within our means. And know what that means, gang. It means we're going to have our grandparents' depression nightmares. But they made it, and they were better for it. And if you just want to ignore it, you know what? You're exactly right. We do medicate ourselves all the time. We medicate ourselves, and as a recovering alcoholic, the media is the enabler. The politicians are the enabler. What they'll do over and over, they'll say, he doesn't have a problem. We don't have a problem. That's not happening. That's an enabler. Get away from the enablers. Start rooting yourself in the truth. And I'm going to tell you something here in just a second. I'm going to look you in the eye this Saturday, and we're going to have a frank conversation, one-on-one, in person at a free event in Florida this Saturday. And I'm going to tell you what the plan is, because I ain't taking this anymore. This is insane to live this way. I'm going to be in the history books, and I think you are too. I'll see you Saturday in Florida at the Villages. I'll give you more information on that coming up. Right back.
The final bubble to burst. Next.